The fella isn't dead at all.
Oh, is he not dead? Still. What was that nonsense he was saying, though?
I think, yes, it was from William Shakespeare's Macbeth.
Oh,
okay.
Everyone throw
she's
salt
new.
over your shoulder. You're not supposed to say it. It's the Scottish play. Bad luck.
A soliloquy from Act 5, Scene 5.
That I just happen to have in my book.
It's a collected works of William Shakespeare. So it was that the victim, Mr. William Shakespeare, came back to life.
To life.
To life. If the man had indeed been poisoned, it transpired that it hadn't killed him. He was taken by emergency carriage to a nearby hospital for treatment. And Inspector Gregson evicted us from the scene of the crime. Whatever that now was. Oh, there's Popeye.
It's Popeye.
Hello. Your phone who dis?
Whatever do you think will happen now?
Good question. What a strange situation for Mr. Natsume, arrested for murder, but then the victim comes back to life.
Awkward.
I think perhaps the victim was never dead in the first place.
Oh, so
It seems very likely that Mr. Shakespeare did consume poison, as we deduced.
if the bars of soap are in the first floor, do you think it's like he puts it there and then Popeye grabs the soap and then goes to resell or something?
Something like
It's
that.
possible.
Yeah, like Popeye
Was
does
it an
the resell.
accident, attempted suicide, or attempted murder?
Yeah, that. You can even see the soap there.
Yeah. Dude, your mouse is really loud.
Until the truth could be established, I imagine the police will keep Mr. Natsume in custody.
I suppose so. Let's hope it doesn't count to anything more than a night in the cells. Oh, what's this?
Oh, what?
What is that loud-ass mouse wheel that I'm hearing? What's that man doing over there?
Was that bicycle always fucked up? I
Yeah, it
forgot.
was. I remember that.
Okay.
Yep. It looks like he's trying to sneak into Soseki-san's lodgings.
Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo?
Excuse me, could we have a word?
There.
He looks like a bee. with that
Yeah,
bag.
his bag makes it look like a bumblebee.
He just ran off.
I feel sure that I've seen that man symbol before. Where was it?
Right
Do
here.
you think he's designed as a bumblebee because it's about wax and he does the soap? Is that the connection we're trying to make here?
I don't know.
Interesting thought. Let's keep that for later. I do too, but I don't remember. It was right here. A couple days ago. Soap?
Yeah, soap.
With the exception of the top floor where Mr. and Mrs. Garridebs live, all the windows are bricked up. That's not what I was checking.
Yes, that's because of those window tax. I was charged the number of windows a property had.
You know, instead of something sensible like, I don't know, square footage.
In order to pay this tax, the poor members of society filled in many of their windows.
But the tax has since been abolished, hasn't it? So the windows could all be opened up again, surely.
Unfortunately, it would appear that the residents of the district can't afford to pay to have the work done.
Yes, that is a sad state of affairs.
Especially for people like poor Mr. Natsume, who have to live all cooped up in a windowless room.
I suppose that's the price you pay for living in a very cheap accommodation.
It all seems rather pointless when you put it like that.
No, I was trying to check the soap. What about the fucked up bicycle?
There's always seems to be a bicycle outside the Garridebs residence. I read that bicycles are extremely popular all over Great Britain at the moment, in fact.
That one seems very warped, though, especially the front wheel. Is that to make it more of a challenge to ride, you think?
Like a challenge.
No, I'm afraid that may be a result of the rider's incompetence. For the front wheel to be so badly warped, I'm afraid the rider may have been similarly afflicted.
then there's a good chance Mr. Natsume has been practicing on this bicycle, I think.
Oh dear, I fear you may be right.
Frosty's still here? Hey, hello. Why so many build a snowman on some sort of pedestal, you think?
It's not a pedestal, Mr. Naruhodo. It's part of the snowman's body.
Really?
What?
But it already has a perfectly good body.
Well, it's true that the British snowmen are usually made with 2 balls of snow. Perhaps this is a foreigner.
What?
What? Wait, what? And now we're looking at him
Oh,
as if he's
I'm sorry.
strange. Poor man. I know how it
British
feels.
snowmen only use 2 balls of snow.
Yes, British men only have 2 balls. What?
If anything, it's Japanese and British 2-ball snowmen that are the strange ones, isn't it?
If you say so.
After all, real people do have 3 sections: head, torso, and legs.
Citation needed.
Do you ever think that perhaps you think about things too much?
That was a weird
Anything else?
addendum.
Do we just go to the cell now? Talk to...
Yeah. Where can we go?
Probably. London's blanketed in fog again today, and the sky is covered in cloud. But if you look carefully in the distance, you can just make out the Crystal Tower being built.
Oh yeah, for the
The Great Exhibition, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, thank you, Exposition. Isn't that the same line that from the first game?
The crystal.
Probably
the exact
same.
same line of
Tower, yes,
exposition,
the
yeah.
centerpiece of the Great Exhibition has to open in 6 months' time specifically.
Everyone's talking about the Great Exhibition of London at the moment, it seems.
It's 2 months away from that time in the future where you're looking back on this inside of a book that a little girl wrote.
It's 2 days away from retirement.
Well, it's to be the largest event of its kind anywhere in the world with technology and scientists from all over.
I can't wait to visit that.
I can't wait for it myself.
Me neither. Do you think visiting students from Far East like us will be granted entry? Just buy a ticket.
No. The last Great Exhibition was
F.
held in London, had more than 6 million visitors, it seems.
6 million
And this
subscribers.
time, the British are determined to make it an even bigger success to outdo the Paris Exposition.
Exposition? The exposition, you say? I
The
see.
Expo Exposition.
That's an incredible number of people. And with so many people expected to attend, we should easily be able to slip in unnoticed. That's not the point.
There's always the oddest approach of buying tickets to the main entrance, Mr. Naruhodo.
That's what I said.
Can you not buy it like ahead of time?
Probably not. I don't know. Would be smart, right? Pre-sale.
I mean, if you're expecting such a major event, you probably would want to have some.
Can I say I love how this lamp is clearly not a part of the same art layer as the background is. So funny.
Yeah, though that I think that was just put there for the sake of the pirate. I forgot the name when you move the.
Oh, for the parallax.
background. Parallax. I had pareidolia in my head. That is a completely different thing.
Okay. Let's check if we can go to the. Oh, right. We were talking. We were supposed to talk
I
to
got
the.
that.
Yeah. Let's talk to them first. Looks like they. Wait. No, they haven't. I was gonna say, looks like you replaced the car, but no, it's still burned. Here we
Looks
are
like they
again. The eccentric landlord's eccentric top floor abode.
We're here because Mr. Garridebs is the one who discovered the incident this morning, don't forget.
Oh, that old thing.
You chaps say.
Yeah, yes, good morning, sir.
Thank you for your cooperation in court yesterday.
It was quite a trial. As much from Mr. Garridebs as anyone, really.
Getting straight back here after all that business at the Bailey yesterday.
Do you have a slap mark in your face again?
What? Didn't expect to wake up. Why? I don't still understand why he does that with the pipe. Didn't expect to wake up to more bodily nonsense this morning.
I think I did that before.
Yeah.
I don't know why he does it though. It's really gross.
I mean,
I
the
wonder.
pipe probably doesn't really have anything.
Hmm.
I hope not.
I wonder if you wouldn't mind telling us exactly what happened, Mr. Garridebs.
Well, it had the tip of a knife in it, so.
Yes, I suppose you'd like to know all about that dead loss of an actor chap in the ground floor room.
Those were exactly Inspector Greggles' words, weren't they?
Oh, he's fine. I
Sort
do
of.
like his pouty lip. He's very funny.
Let's be rude.
He's just standing there in your cave. Let me go talk about everything else.
Good to see Mr. Garridebs' Medal of Honor still proudly displayed on the wall. Is that the one he wore in court?
Yep.
The inscription reads for distinguished participation, if you
Ah,
remember.
yes. It's a participation award, yeah. Yes, I remember, because I remember thinking even I might stand a chance of picking up honors like that.
Wouldn't you know? Look at me now, perhaps, but I had my devil-may-care days, you know.
Devil may care. What did you get up to?
It's just like the algorithm sorting meme. Well, all the past now, of course, and best left there.
Best not. I want to know now. Me too. You know what
Still
that
have
screen
the
is hiding
trio
now?
of desserts there.
The aftermath of the fiery altercation the other day.
I suppose I'll be able to clear that mess up for some time now.
Gotta wait until your wife's out of prison.
Oh dear, this must be a very difficult situation for you.
I'll say, people talk about twists of fate and whatnot. But this is a twist and a half, a run show all round.
He's clearly struggling with everything that's happened. It's still the same mess. You haven't even cleaned up.
Yeah. I mean, it was yesterday.
True.
It was like a day ago, yeah. It's like,
That's an impressive collection of cakes on that fancy silver cake stand there.
I feel sure that it was full of cakes when we first investigated in here as well.
Did he eat everything?
Yes,
Oh.
quite right. Haven't touched it since.
That makes sense.
Haven't done much at all, really, since it all happened. Time's rather stood still for me, you know?
Hmm.
Oh,
Time has stood still. Now that's an interesting phrase.
Time stands still.
Maybe people use that excuse when I'm supposedly tidying your office. Oh,
you could just tidy up, Mr. Naruhodo.
no, time
She
stands
reads
still.
her in the monologue.
No. It's not actually internal monologue. They actually do like talk under their breath when they say that. That's been implied multiple times. You look very dashing in your uniform there, Mr. Garridebs.
Oh, I thought you we were
Yeah, me
talking
too.
about the lion.
That old
Well,
push.
you look very dashing there, Mr. Lion.
Drawn by an art student who used to rent the room downstairs.
Oh.
Not a certain.
Olive's brother.
Not a certain
whatever.
green, was it?
Is she related to Shakespeare?
Oh, you look so wonderfully young and courageous and strong.
Yes, well, the chap presented it to me one day and asked if I'd let him off the month's rent in return.
let him off. So it's the guy probably in the
So it's
picture.
probably Oliver Green.
Yep.
Oh, I see. So you did, presumably?
No, I probably will did not.
No.
No.
But I kept the thing anyway.
Oh,
Portrait is a portrait, but rent is rent, eh?
And yet it's still there, proudly on the wall.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
good
kinda
though.
probably.
that's your military uniform, isn't it, Mr. Garridebs?
Well, ceremonial garb, yes. Been hanging on the wall ever since my retirement bash. Not in active service now, you know. Doesn't mean much to me anymore. You can have the old thing if you wanted it.
Yay!
Well, it might suit Lord Van Zeeks, perhaps. And an overly ostentatious outfit like this could be just what he needs.
Very tactful, Mr. Sato. Very tactful indeed. Don't tell him that to his face. Actually, no, do tell him that to his face. Ah, yes, those enormous mortar shells. It's quite something seeing them up close, isn't it?
Didn't you say something about firing them into the barracks, Mr. Garrideb?
Oh, that old story.
I remember to you just a little mishap that occurred during training one day. What are you doing firing on your old men? The captain bellowed at
The
me.
pipe.
Not surprised. The little mishap doesn't really do it justice, does it?
Well, one has these little incidents and one's a hot-headed young private.
Perhaps I should put some evidence in that resulted from one of my little mishaps on display. What would that be?
Oh, does the great lawyer, like the great detective, want to exhibit some trophies of his finest moments?
The cannon?
Probably
There's
the
a
dress.
single apron.
Yeah.
Drying on that enormous cannon-shaped clothes horse. Look.
No, Mr. Naruhodo. That's a real cannon.
I knew that. I was just testing you.
Piece of history, that is. Seen plenty of action on the battlefield, I can tell you. Now, little girl and I are just enjoying the peace and quiet of retirement together.
That's no way to talk about your wife.
And of course, she'd come in handy if the enemy decided to launch an attack again.
That's no way to talk about your wife.
I mean, is there a war going on that I don't know about? Give it another like 14 years. Is that everything? Books.
Oh, a copy of Friends magazine.
Oh ho!
The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes is being read all over London. Isn't it wonderful?
Wouldn't one ask oneself if such a thing as a detective could really exist?
Hasn't he been here before? I remember correcting him on something here. Right? Something about an escaped line or something? Ah, yes.
Having met the chap is undeniable. He is most certainly singular.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
only one of him, and that's certainly enough.
Singularly dangerous.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. That's genuine public opinion for Mr. Sato. Perhaps it should be reflected in the story. Yeah, make them less flattering.
Make no mistake, Mr. Naruhodo. I intend to snuff out the sort of public opinion we just heard personally.
Well, we know who
I'm
the
going
next
to
victim is.
kill him.
I'm starting to see where Mr. Shem's untainted reputation comes from now.
Fanboy.
Propaganda. That's when a British person takes a real close look at something. It must have been a real shock for you this morning. I hear that you discovered when it happened.
Ah, well, that hopeless actor chap rises at 5 o'clock sharp every morning without fail. But at 5:30 this morning, he still hadn't lit the gas. So I went down and knocked on his door, but nobody answered.
And that's when you broke into his room by kicking down the door?
Well, I called on that rum-looking Japanese chap to do the grunt work, of course.
Wasn't it a little premature to kick the door down? The man could have just overslept for half an hour.
It's very true, Mr. Naruhodo. If 30 minutes oversleeping warranted such behavior, I'd have to kick your door down every morning.
Well, better to be safe than sorry and all that.
Is it just me or is he avoiding our gaze now all of a sudden?
Except that it was a sorry situation indeed that you found on the far side of the door.
What can you tell me about that, Mr. Shamspeare?
Shakespeare.
The victim's name is Mr. Shamspeare, I believe. Is that right?
Yes, William Shakespeare took the ground floor room 3 months ago now.
And how would you describe him?
Poor.
Boring.
In a word, destitute. Also known as poor.
So poor, yeah.
Poor.
Destitute?
Well, let's face it, the only redeeming feature of that room is the cheap rent.
True.
Anyone wanting to live in a place like that is either broke or has body screw loose.
So hard to
Good
choose
way
which
to talk
category
about your
Soseki-san would
own
fall into.
apartment.
What says it about the guy who offers that apartment for rent?
Right?
Yeah.
Mr. Naruhodo, that's a little rude.
Just a little.
He was doing research as well.
What? Research?
Hmm?
Into what? Soap technology.
Poison.
Oh.
Shakespeare, of course. Shakespeare. Read a few plays of the old bard myself, you know. Romeo and
Romeo and
Hamlet and all
Hamlet.
that.
Yes. My favorite.
Oh yeah. Do you think that Shakespeare pulled the Romeo and Juliet, the fake poison thing?
Possibly.
Now that you say that, yeah, I actually hadn't thought of that. That is a good point.
Yeah.
Yes, William Shakespeare Singles was highly regarded classical playwright and author.
Hmm.
He's known as Sao in Japanese, as you know, and many of his works have already been translated.
I did not know that either.
William Shakespeare, also known as Sao. Swords Art Online.
Sword Art Online Shakespeare. Wait, what? Seems incredible that Shakespeare was shown to Sao, though. Someone was too heavy-handed there, really, though. Really? Someone, either that or just lazy.
Yeah.
There were a lot of costumes in the victims' room, actually, weren't there?
Of course, Mr. Naruhodo is a scholar of English literature as well. I imagine he and Mr. Shakespeare would have much in common.
Hmm. Shakespeare interpretation disagreement leads to shocking murder. Let's hope. Let's hope it's not that. Well, nerds and geeks can get hot-headed sometimes. So.
Mr. Naruhodo, really, how rude.
You know how these people are. After Mr. Natsume's trial yesterday, you came straight back here, I believe, didn't you? Did you notice anything strange between then and this morning?
Well, now, it must have been about 6 in the evening by the time I got home. Snow was coming up rather heavily, as I remember. It was completely dark already. That failed actor chap was out at the time.
Mr. Garridebs noticed there was no light from his room or something, I suppose. But how would he be able to tell? The windows
Couldn't
bricked up.
summon the energy for anything much, so I just sat in front of the fire up here. It was after 8 before Shamsir got back. The chap was up until past 1 in the morning, I'll have you know. I suppose he made his end sometime after that. I was asleep by then, so I'm rather in the dark there.
Well, thank you. That was very illuminating. Alright. Well. Is everything alright, Mr. Sato?
Well, I was just thinking it's a little strange, that's all. Mr. Garridebs, you were up here in your room all evening, if I've understood correctly.
Not a big fan of stairs, not with this blasted leg.
Then, how is it that you seem to know? The precise movements of your tenants on the ground floor, I mean.
That is a good point, actually.
Yes, it is.
Ah!
Oh. Tick.
What is that face? Oh,
Oh.
interesting. That's a very good point. That's what I just said.
Hey.
I can't imagine that you could hear noises from the ground floor all the way up here. Does this old man like to spy on his tenants? Is that it? In addition to having a
I
maid
say,
king,
I don't know what you're thinking, and it's volley outrage. I'm ex-military, don't you know?
in addition to having a maid king, does he also have a voyeur king?
I don't go around spying on my tenants. Why would I?
You being in the, or you having been in the military is no proof of anything, so,
And how did you know, Mr. Garridebs?
It's the gas movement. The gas tells me everything.
Oh, the gas. The gas? Speaking gas?
Speaking gas.
Singing pipes?
Screaming pipes.
What on earth do you mean, sir? How can the gas tell you anything, let alone everything?
Well, as you're probably aware, the gas is supplied to the building by pipes.
Singing pipes.
Gassy pipes.
Yes, I'd more or less worked that out.
Every room in the building is connected by a single pipe to the gas main outside. And the gas company supplies gas to properties via the main.
Yes, I understand that too.
Let me see if I can explain. Let's say I was to light the gas lamps up here. What do you suppose would happen?
Well, obviously the room would get brighter.
Exactly, but at the same time, the lights in all the other rooms of the house would dim for a moment.
Makes sense. What? They dim? Why?
Because it's the same gas pipe, you dingus.
Yes, they're on the same pipe.
Perhaps it's because when you light a gas lamp, it briefly uses more gas than usual.
That even happens with electricity still.
So does that mean that one could theoretically like? Okay, yeah, that reduces the amount of gas. So, considering that his house, his apartment has a window, and Mr. Garridebs has a window, could he be using the gas that he could control to try to poison Soseki? Because as far as we are seeing,
Maybe.
Soseki is the only one that is fully, fully closed off
Yeah, I'm
with
not.
his window.
See, I'm not sure how the whole system works though. The piping and everything, right?
So
Hmm.
yeah, it seems that like if he uses more gas, then the other apartments will use less. But we are seeing that he was using candles, so he was using less gas, meaning that the other apartments would have more.
If they turn it on, yeah.
Yeah.
Because remember, they also all have meters, so you'd have to pay to turn it on.
Yeah, but you don't really need to pay to turn it on the other ones, only if they are already turned on. Which Soseki-san would need to have it turned on 24/7 because his apartment is closed.
Hmm.
So he would always need to pay for gas.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's just a theory. Again, theory.
Thanks for what? No, I'm not doing that.
Might explain why the other lamps dim momentarily, wouldn't it?
Yes, of course, because everything's connected to a single supply pipe.
Yep.
Hmm.
Is that supposed to happen though? It sounds rather undesirable.
It's a cheap way to do it.
Pretty good point. Fact is, the gas company's pipes in these parts are pretty hopeless, long worn out.
Oh, maybe it was a leak. Maybe it was not intentional.
Hmm.
And barely got any gas in them to start with.
Well, maybe there's leaking somewhere, right? So,
Yeah, there you go. Look.
Oh, this is also true, of course. Extinguish the lamps up here, and they glow brighter in the rest of the house.
Yeah, okay, that would make sense. Oh,
So
right,
there
I
is
see.
more gas on the other apartments, meaning that Soseki-san would have more gas into his room.
So,
So-
by watching the flickering of the lamps in
that-
one room, you can determine what's happening elsewhere.
Wow, thank you for speaking for me. That's so nice of you.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was the guy.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm just spelling it out for you.
Yeah, he's just like being
You've
very
got
obvious
it.
about
You've got it.
Well, of course, because when people come back home in the evening and before they go to sleep at night,
They turn the lamps on and off.
what they're guaranteed to do is either light or put out their lamps and fires.
Clever.
Clever.
Clever girl.
Clever girl.
In point of fact, the room on the ground floor, the one above it, used slightly different amounts of gas.
Wow.
By watching the lights in here closely, I can work out almost exactly what's going on in the whole house.
Gosh, that's fascinating, Mr. Garridebs. Absolutely fascinating.
Oh, well, nothing to it, really.
And I can't really see that it's going to help us with the case either.
I'm seeing.
What I'd like to know is why Mr. Garridebs is so interested with what his tenants are up to in the first place. I feel like there's more to it than idle curiosity. He's a freaking landlord. Of course he's interested in what his tenants do. Isn't that a landlord thing to do? Well, we've done as much investigating here as we can, I think. Perhaps we ought to go to the prison and speak with Mr. Natsume again. Thank you.
Good
Soseki.
idea.
All right.
All right, can we end it with this scene?
I suppose let's just do the talking in the prison, and that's probably gonna give us a to be continued.
That's the thing. It's almost 2 a.m.
I know. If you want, you can drop out and we'll do it. Because
That's the thing. I'm gonna have to leave.
I'm pretty sure that talking to Natsume will yield a to be continued.
Yeah, we stop the investigation and go into the trial part.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So it should be right after this.
All right. Well, I'm gonna dip out.
That's fine.
Yeah, no worries.
You shouldn't be.
Sebastian
you shouldn't be
will take
missing
the
us.
girl voice.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
All of them.
All of them.
You should just be
Oh.
Sebastian and not Smith.
All right. Bye-bye. See
Bye-bye.
you guys in the
Bye.
next one.
Hey.
I found out that Discord has a little bit of soundboard.
Yes. I hope it actually picks up on the recording.
Same.
Actually, let me try. Do one more thing. It does. Nice. Okay.
Hey,
Yeah, it plays over the voice chat, so I actually saw my little meter. Oh my god, my ears.
yeah, this one is loud.
Okay.
Mine not
Yeah, yeah, okay. Look,
All
Mr.
right.
Naruto. Mr. Natsume. Have the police finished questioning you now?
fucking Blair Witching.
The
Look, it's not Mr. Naruto Esquire.
Oh, yes.
What is it? Tell me. Is he a ghost? Is he here to haunt me?
Let me guess. You're talking about Mr. Sholmes? He actually calls himself a great detective, Mr. Natsume, not a ghost.
But his diabolic deductions, they're not of his world. They left me. I'm cursed, I tell you.
Well, that sort of hurts. Credit where credit is due, Mr. Naruto. You were heavily involved with the deduction, too. Yes, moving on. We have some wonderful news. The guy is actually not dead.
You're not a murderer.
Yes. The victim we all thought was dead has come back to life again. Now, in the absolutely worst case, you could only be tried for attempted murder.
Mazel tov.
That's great, isn't it, Mr. Natsume?
It's terrible.
Oh,
I'm stuck in the cell suffering for some silly worm kind of a stick. You didn't you? Confess. You're a killer. Why the mustache?
why? Why though?
Yeah, I don't know. Ask Gregson. Constant question.
Why your mustache, Gregson? I'm sorry to hear that.
Selfish shyster. Make up your mind. I'm dead or alive. You're going to back to life when Bonner died. Wiggly wishy-washy William.
Well, it seems likely that Mr. Shamson was never actually dead in the first place.
Yes, that might make sense. And I'm pleased that he's alive, of course. A lively debate last night was much fun. I'd be sad to think it was our last.
Oh,
Oops.
thank you for admitting that. Mr. Natsume, does this mean that you did see the victim last night? You met with Mr. Shamsbury, didn't you?
Let's say another word. I demand to have a lawyer. I am the.
Hi. What do you think I am? Please, Mr. Natsume, we need to hear your side of the story.
Why am I cursed like this?
We'll find someone else to represent you then. What happened? Can you tell us exactly what happened last night then, Mr. Natsume?
There's nothing to tell. Cool.
Left hand.
But Mr. Naruto Esquire, I'm the only grateful to you for helping me. This case today.
The case that saw poor Miss Green hospitalized after she ended up with a knife in her back. It's hard to believe that was only yesterday. Really though, is it?
Right?
Feels like years ago.
After the time was over, I trudged my weary way back to my lodgings. And that even at past 9, it must have been, I visited Mr. Shakespeare.
So you did go to the victim's room then? As we feared.
I didn't do anything wrong. I've never been to his room before. It was the first time.
Then what made you decide to go?
Did he invite you? Oh, I bumped into him when I arrived back at the house. We got chatting and it developed into a discussion. But I had to go out, so I bade him farewell.
That ties in with what Mr. Garridebs said, that the victim went out and came back after 8.
We met again later that evening at around 9 or just after, when I took him some nice tea I brewed as a gift.
So it was you who brought the tea that clearly been drunk at the scene then? And I suppose you were discussing the works of Shakespeare, were you?
Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. Romeo and Juliet was the stronger. It was the delightful debate. Wait.
I'm sure.
Such a stimulating subject, Shakespeare. Juliet come bench press Romeo.
Yes. And the debate became very heated, so you slipped poison into Mr. Shakespeare's tea?
No, never. Not at all.
I don't even know where to get poison.
Team Juliet won. Hey! That was me. And when I left his room, the flamboyant fellow was fighting fit, I swear it, categorically. Wait, so you left and forgot the books? Why'd you leave the books?
Mr. Natsume, you often say the same thing about yourself, I've noticed. Did you have a cursed existence?
I'm sure I've mentioned this to you before, but I've been here in Great Britain for a year now, and that time I've learned that it's no place for me.
Everyone's racist here. It can be very trying to live in a foreign land and adapt to the ways of another culture.
There are foreigners everywhere I look. They all stare at me. They all laugh.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
I
you're
said,
the
maybe you
foreigner.
shouldn't look so Asian then.
Jeez. That's the impression I get whenever I go out. It makes me sad to leave my room.
That must feel terrible, to be honest.
Which is why I've become a recluse. But even in my room, I find no respite. I moved more times than I can remember, and then a week ago, I moved to Briar Road.
But why? I mean, why did you choose that place? It doesn't seem very comfortable. Money?
It's cheap,
Money?
because the rent is cheap. I have so little money, he spoke to me.
Did the gas speak to you too? The rent?
Obviously, there's a reason why it's cheap. Because the room is cursed.
Got it. Cursed? Cursed how?
The previous occupant, the man who lived there before I took the died there.
From gas
Probably.
poisoning.
Yep, yes.
Oh no.
He was only a young man, but one morning he was found dead and explain why.
Wait.
Oh,
Where was the artist?
Yeah, I was about to say, do you think that the art was
Yeah,
Olive's?
so Olive's brother.
I knew that I remembered the face of the brother
Hmm.
from somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know if we've seen him before though, is the thing. Surely no one wanted to live in a room with a history like that. I hope you haggled with Garrideb on the rent.
I didn't. When the Latin agent recommended the place, I wavered. But I want books, and books cost money. A horrible history is a small price to pay.
I think a lot of people can relate to that. I want books and books cost money.
Yeah. When I realized it would mean I could buy more books, I signed the lease like lightning.
Brave or blinkered?
But after I moved in, I soon came to realize what I'd done. I realized how horrible this room's history really was.
Gosh, was it really so awful? The horrible history. How did the room's horrible history affect you, Mr. Natsume? What happened?
At first, it was just a feeling. The feeling, the eyes boring back, watching me.
Do you think that might just have been your mind playing tricks on you?
No. My mind doesn't know any trick. It was someone else.
My mind doesn't know any tricks.
It's been one long night. Travis given the keys to the place.
Yeah, so there's probably a gas leak and that messed with his head, eh?
Yeah.
A nightmare? You've been having bad dreams, I mean?
All the souls who've died in that room looked me in my sleep and tried to strangle me. Yep, he's getting suffocated.
That really is horrible.
And now I come to think of it, it happened again last night too. The very same night that Mr. Shamsfield was writhing in agony from the poison in his body. I was on the verge of being suffocated silently by those miserable spirits in my room.
You simply must move out of that room as soon as possible.
Yes, you're right. I know it. And that's why I'm already searching for the next room with a history to go home.
You're searching from this cell? I think perhaps you should try to avoid accommodation with any kind of history at all.
The cell
Otherwise-
probably will be safer.
I'm scared that you yourself might become history. Phew. So Sasha knows how to make the man listen.
Sag, of course. Mr. Lord the Manor is worried about the curse in my room as well.
You mean Mr. Garridebs?
Yes, he knows that if people keep dying there, he'll never be able to rent.
That's true. Well, that's true. I, for one, wouldn't go near the place. Ah, perhaps that may explain why the landlord pays so much attention to the gas lamps in his tenants' movements. You mean because he's worried about their well-being? No. He does seem to have an unusually keen interest in the amount of gas in the pipes. There must be a reason why he keeps such close tabs on the occupants of his let rooms.
What do you mean he pays so much attention to the gas lamps?
Oh, do you know? No, it's nothing to do with you, Mr. Natsume. Please forget I said anything.
Oh, now you're talking about me behind my back as well.
What's important is that Mr. Shamspeare isn't in fact dead at all. Once he's come around and he's able to tell us what happened, we'll be able to get you released.
Yes, please. Oh, I do hope you're right.
If he doesn't drop dead in the time between now and the trial.
Well, I'm assuming it's Gregson.
Okay.
Excuse me.
What should be Sholmes this time? No, okay, nice.
Hey!
Inspector Gregson!
I get over here what you just said. And on that note...
Why the mustache?
Yeah, why the mustache? I have some good news and some bad news.
Good news is you are getting released. Bad news is the guy's dead. That would be too easy, wouldn't it?
Oh. Which you want first? Please let it be a choice. Oh, it's every time the bad news comes first. When hope is all you have, hold on to it. That's my guiding principle. Right. Well, in that case, the good news is his.
That's not what he said.
Sorry, but it's just a lot easier to explain everything that way.
Why'd you even ask then?
What'd you ask? Fuck, you didn't even ask.
Handshake.
As you might have heard, the victim, Mr. Shamsky, was just unconscious. He's come around now.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we saw it happen in all its terrifying glory.
He seemed to be treated by the doctors, but we managed to get a written statement.
Oh,
Is the bad news that he's saying that Soseki is
probably. Oh, isn't that wonderful, Mr. Natsume?
Oh, thank goodness, it's all over then. I can leave this somber set.
See, that's where the bad news comes in, Sunshine.
Nope. That's not on the cards.
Why ever not, Inspector?
If the champion has implicated someone as being responsible.
Implicated someone. Oh dear.
You told me. I'm sorry to say I do. Yes, he's pointed the finger at you, Mr. Natsume.
That's all too convenient, isn't it?
No.
Oh, I wonder if he heard the Logic and Reasoning Spectacular.
Probably.
Huh.
But I do feel he's already like, he still. I consider that. I don't know the reasoning, but I do feel he's trying to remove Natsume from that place for some reason, either killing him or. My sweet poison seeketh to end my life. That wicked is the caitiff. Caitiff?
Don't know.
Soseki Natsume.
It's Shakespearean language stuff. He made up words all the time. I don't know.
Caitiff it's vampires without a clan. What? I might be getting the wrong.
Interesting.
result.
Okay.
So I'm afraid you'll be appearing in court as planned. You'll be wanting to make the necessary preparations.
I do.
No!
And so, once again, Soseki-san found himself having to take the dock in the Old Bailey. Whether his room was haunted, or whether he was just terribly unlucky, I knew I had no choice. The following day, I would represent him in court, and do my utmost to break the curse that blighted him. To be good, that took a while. There we go. Oh my god, those are loud. Holy shit.
They are, aren't they?
Oh, I just noticed I can actually adjust the
We
volume
can add our own.
of the soundboard. Yeah, let me just put that to half, maybe 2/3. There
Also,
we go.
we can add our own.
That's
up to
amazing.
5
I need
seconds.
to
Good to
remember
know.
to do that, to check that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice one.
Yeah, so I do feel that Shakespeare is most definitely the guilty party in this. I just
Yeah,
don't know why.
him and Popeye, they're doing something with the soap. Either it's really like a counterfeit thing, or they're smuggling something, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that round red thing is in the soap.
It could be an actual gem or something. Like
That's what I thought too. Maybe, but like they probably would have noticed that because I said it was like, I think, the same consistency as the soap. I don't know. They didn't say anything about it being different.
It clearly can be removed. Like the models are different from
True,
each
yeah.
other.
Yeah, I noticed that
So-
too.
So it's probably something that will get context later on.
Definitely. Yep.